there was a thing called impersonation. So I was just one of the characters, and which was very charming and entertaining for my mom for the first couple hours, and then not so much for the next couple of days when I could only speak as Al Pacino. A 6-year-old doing Al Pacino was a little unnerving for my mom. But yeah, I mean, it's just been a great life, that's for sure.
Did you grow up liking sports? Did you participate in sports at all?
Not only did I grow up liking sports, but being from San Francisco, I was in fact at Game 1 of these World Series when the Panda put on a little home run clinic.
Here we go.
Yeah, that was about as exciting as it gets.
We had ESPN's Buster Olney on, covers baseball, was at that game, and he said, thank God ESPN didn't drug test us because there was a certain aroma at AT&T Park that, well, did you smell that too?
No, no, I didn't. It's an open air park. I think whoever this was that was reporting must have been very close to somebody. In fact, I'm going to say within reaching distance, if you will.
What's this in my hand?
Yeah, exactly. How did this get there? Yeah, no, that's not the memory I have of the evening, I promise you. Yeah.
We've been actually having some debates, Joe and I, because we're actually both huge fans of your work and whatnot.
Thank you.
And we're trying to figure out which one was your best performance, or what movie you might have liked doing the best. Recalling some of your past experiences, what would have been your favorite role that you played?
Well, there were a couple different plateaus, watershed moments, you know, before A Few Good Men and Usual Suspects, which were two absolute watershed moments. There was a little smaller film that Barry Levinson wrote and directed called Avalon, which was the first time I was a dramatic actor. And the first time for a comedian to be a dramatic actor, that's just a huge moment in time. And I felt like he was maybe giving me the keys to the kingdom at that point. He had just done Rain Man and won all the awards, and then that was his next movie. So there was a lot of attention within the film industry on that film. And it was a sort of a big moment for me as a comedian who was fantasizing about being a dramatic actor. And then, of course, A Few Good Men, as I said, was being brought up to the majors. I'm like, where's Waldo in the cast? Everybody's famous but me, which is amazing because then that gives the audience an opportunity to discover me, right?
But is that unique in itself, though? Because if you think about it, someone that's usually used to being connotated with comedic roles, they find something funny to do in film, but yet you find yourself in dramatic roles.
Right.
And was that weird for you to transcend yourself from something that was pretty funny to something serious?
Yeah, well, it was at first a dream, and then it was careful what you wish, because I became a dramatic actor and became known more for being a dramatic actor. And then in the case of one of the stories I tell in the book, which is just hitting bookstores this weekend actually, called How I Slept My Way to the Middle. One of the stories is how I had a unique opportunity in the case of this movie I did called The Whole Nine Yards with Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry, Michael Clark Duncan, and there you go. There's a woohoo. Well, what happened was that the director was told by Bruce Willis and Matthew Perry that I would be perfect for this one role of this character called Yanni Gogolak, Hungarian-born, Chicago-raised hitman. And the director, Jonathan Lynn, is British, and so his response was, well, fellas, you know, I get it, I'm a fan of Kevin's. I've seen A Few Good Men, seen Usual Suspects, he's very diverse, but, you know, this is a comedy. That was his response. And Bruce literally grabbed him by the throat and said, he's a comedian, you idiot. Yeah. And then I met with Jonathan, and he said, I said to him, actually, because my character is Hungarian, born Chicago, raised, I said, which accent do you want? Oh. And he said, can you do both? And I said, really? Both Hungarian and Chicago? So I decided I would switch the V's and the W's for the Hungarian part, and then I would just drive home the hard consonants, you know, so my character says, my father was a great man, a man of vision and character. So there you get the Hungarian and Chicago all in one.
How do you handle when people, because I'm looking at these impressions, how do you handle when you don't want to be funny in public and they're coming, hey, Alan Arkin, do Paul Reiser, do whoever. How do you handle that?
Well, I'm usually pretty easy going. You know, I'm one of these grateful guys who, you know, people will say, does it bother you when people come up and ask for this or that? And I say, it beats the hell out of the alternative.
Yes.
Or they don't bother you and they don't care. You know, so I'm always kind of aware of that and grateful. So unless you catch me in the middle of a fork full of food at a restaurant, you know, I'm usually, I don't want to be anybody's monkey on a chain, you know, or a puppet on a string in terms of do this, do that, but I'm not against the idea of entertaining at a moment's notice.
All the Twitter we've got this morning, a lot of response. Make him do his Christopher Walken.
Well, first of all, it's exciting to be here today. I'll tell you why. Because I enjoy the game. The game is when it all starts for me every morning. It's a game I play called Waking Up. Most people start their day with coffee. I go right to the booze. No, I started doing Christopher.
Please don't stop. Please don't stop.
Well, listen, I'll tell you what. Here's your chance. Here's your chance to interview Christopher Walken. Have you had him on the show yet?
No.
Okay.
Yes, we do right now.
Yeah, you do right now, and you can ask him anything. Just keep in mind, all of his thoughts are completely disconnected.
Okay, Mr. Walken.
Yes, hello.
I listen. What's the movie? The New York movie, King of New York.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Right.
Where did you draw the inspiration for that character?
Well, Picasso was a hack.
All right.
The Deer Hunter is obviously a movie classic. The Deer Hunter, looking back on the Deer Hunter now, your thoughts on that iconic movie?
Frankenstein never scared me.
And your legendary performances on Saturday Night Live. You like performing in front of a live audience?
Marsupials do. Because they're fast.
Working alongside greats like John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction, you were asked to do a unique role, and you were a soldier that actually carried a watch up your nether regions. Was that uncomfortable for you?
Well, sometimes when I make fried bologna sandwich, I think, ooh, this is going to be tasty. And then other times I think I've made a mistake. I've chosen poorly.
We'll be back with more from Christopher Walken. Coming up next, Kevin Pollak.
Yes, exactly.